My name is Jared Murphy, originally from Bellevue, Wisconsin, which is in the southern part of Wisconsin. I lived there for most of my life, and then about 2 years ago I decided to move to South Dakota to continue my law enforcement career there. I started in law enforcement in 2015, and I've been in the Army since 2012. I have a bachelor's degree in political science from the University of Whitewater, Wisconsin. Where there I learned a lot about politics, and it got me a lot more geared up to want to be involved politically. And so my time in South Dakota was fun. I learned a lot of different things and interacted with a lot of different people and saw kind of a different way of life. It was a pretty big difference between like Midwest living and then living in South Dakota, where it was a lot more rancher cowboy style living. So that kind of opened my eyes up to a couple different things and saw how different people live, and it was a fun experience. I was actually going to run for sheriff out there, and I was ready to go. I was going to actually be this November's election, but I decided to want to come out west more. I have a brother that lives in Idaho and want to be closer to him, so I applied with the Haley Police Department. That job ended up working out at the same time as the whole sheriff thing worked out, but coming to Idaho was a way better position for me than it was staying in South Dakota.
So why are you running for mayor of Bellevue?
I'm running for mayor of Bellevue because I want to bring strong leadership to Bellevue. There's talking to a lot of citizens and people that have lived here for a long time, don't feel like they have confidence in their leadership in the city of Bellevue currently, whether it be city council or anything else. They kind of feel a disconnect between it's the city and it's them. And you can't have that around a city. It's not conducive. If you have your citizens don't back you, what legitimacy do you have when you do things to where the citizens are going to say, well, we didn't want that, we didn't want that. But with that, I want to show that they can voice their opinion as well. And I feel like it starts with the leadership top down at this point, and a lot of times leadership, people say start from the bottom up, but this is kind of one of those military roles where you have to be a strong leader at the top and everyone below you will follow as well. And I hope that the citizens will see that and want to be more involved with all the political process and come to city council meetings and voice their concerns and their opinions about how we should run our city. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to please every single citizen in the city with the decisions I make, but with letting them have their voices be heard, we can use that as a city council and make the best decision for the city as a whole and what the citizens want, whether it be compromise or taking their ideas and adding to our current idea of what we want done.
So what would your 3 primary goals be if you were to be elected mayor?
My 3 primary goals, the first one is definitely bring in some new leadership and show confidence in the city. That's my biggest one, is let people see that we have someone in office right now that wants to do what's best for Bellevue and that wants to bring more people into Bellevue and let the people that are already in Bellevue know that we care about them still. That what we're trying to do has their best interest at heart, and it's supposed to help everyone as a whole instead of just helping certain groups of people. The second one is infrastructure, whether it be making new housing with annexations or currently changing our zoning ordinances to where we can have more multifamily housing. Because obviously in this whole valley there's a huge housing crisis. From Ketchum to the south end, everyone needs housing and everyone's trying to gobble up as much land as they can because we want citizens in our cities. It's a simple concept. And the big part is annexation to current land, developing our current annexations that we have now, and working those lots that some citizens have 3 residential lots on their piece of property. So reworking those zoning ordinances so that they can maybe break some of those up and sell one of their lots off so that we can build another house in the city of Bellevue. And also with duplexes or triplexes or quadplexes, because frankly, some people can't afford to buy a house, and if we can have a duplex or a triplex, that'll open up 3 residential places for people to rent as well, and that'll cater to the working class that we see a lot in Bellevue.
What would your third primary goal be?
My 3rd primary goal is downtown business development, encouraging businesses that are already there to want to work together. I know they haven't had really good relations in the past where some people saw they were getting unfair deals from the city and some thought that they were just being ignored completely. So I'd want to be the middleman for them of saying, hey, let's all get together. Let's talk about what do we need to do as a business core right now to work together to try to help each other's business, because realistically, everyone has to work together. Small businesses, they strive off each other and they strive off the local economy. So being that middleman of saying, hey, let's work on this together. Let's meet up, maybe do monthly meetings and see what do we need to do to either beautify Main Street or try to hold some special events to where everyone benefits as a whole, and we move those special events throughout the business district, either being the summer or spring or fall or winter, whatever we need to do to help these businesses prosper and show the citizens that these are businesses for them.
So what would your specific plan be to promote jobs and businesses in the city?
The specific plan for jobs and businesses, we need to get people here first. We need to have housing in Bellevue. Once we have housing in Bellevue, more businesses will want to come. Right now, not as many businesses are moving in because they don't see, there's no need for them at this point. But when there's citizens living there, there's going to be a need for these businesses to come in because there's going to be people requesting these services. So the biggest thing is housing. And it all starts with housing and getting people in Bellevue, pretty much.
If you could change one thing in the current city budget, what would it be and why?
I would say try to utilize our resources a lot better, whether it be contracting for services or trying to minimize waste in some ways. So looking at the budget as a whole, it would definitely be, I know I've talked to some city members and there's a lot of resources with the water department and how they're developing money. So using some of those resources to hire employees there so that the streets and parks department can utilize their employees instead of having to have a bounce around effect. Because right now, you look at public works, they all kind of work together. But so using some of that water money to maybe hire a water employee so that the parks worker doesn't have to go help the water superintendent so that he can focus on parks and streets.